Welcome to 𝗥𝗵𝗲 show. Thank you for joining because, 80% is showing up and, you are here with us. So Ria and I, we appreciate you because we want to give you value. And the more value we can give to you, the more you can improve in your business and your life. And that's what it's all about. So today, I'm going to be leading the conversation and I'm excited to share this because I want to recap on what I was talking about last time, which is talking about the magic word. So I'm going to share myself. Before I do go ahead, I want to introduce myself, introduce the people who are new to the show. Welcome. My name is 𝗥𝗵𝗲.
My name is Ria.
And welcome to our show. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And I love talking about the magic word because essentially that is what it is. The magic thing that we do in life stems from this one word, and this one word is attitude. Because having the right attitude is what it's all about. And Napoleon Hill, he talks about attitude and how the attitude really changes a person. Really, when we have the right attitude, when we are positive, when we are, uplifted. When we are uplifted, we feel other people, we make them feel uplifted, right? So if we are uplifted, say for example, we are in that low vibration and the person that you meet, they are different, they're in the positive vibration, but are you going to be any different? Either you can choose to elevate your vibration, or you can, dim yourself and you don't choose to be that way. So having the right attitude in how we deal in business, how we deal people, and how we deal in life. And so if your attitude is strong to start with, that's what it's all about. So what Napoleon Hill says, that genius is not, genius is not all about, being genius, being smart. Okay. So it's not all about the genius or having the talent or having the talents. It's your overall attitude. Now, how is your overall attitude? Like, when I say what is your overall attitude, is that what are you thinking? You're thinking, what are you feeling, and your actions. Because these, as I was saying last time, your thoughts, your feelings, and action, this is like the composite of a cake. So pretty much your thoughts, feelings, and actions, they are the ingredients to making who we are. And so if you're so I'm just going to illustrate with an illustration that, I absolutely love this drawing because it really illustrates so much about, about the human potential. Pretty much it says a lot. And this is your results. Okay, this is your conscious mind, this is your subconscious mind, and this is the body. So I'm just going to illustrate this in this color. Now, if you recall, your subconscious mind can only, what happened to it? Your subconscious mind can only reject. That's its primary role. The conscious mind can only reject information. And your subconscious mind is responsible to accept. Right? So when your subconscious mind can only accept the information, whether, you know, it is good information, it is bad information, it accepts it. But your conscious mind, on the other hand, whether it's the information that is, you know, is a bad information, it's going to reject it, automatically rejects it. So that is a role that the conscious mind is, you know, that's his primary role. And in attitude, so it comes down to the vibration. Ultimately, it comes down to the vibration. What are we feeling? What are we thinking every day? And this illustration also says that if you, what you're feeding your thoughts, and this is also important too, is you know, if you're feeding your thoughts on the wrong information, and your attitude, you know, kind of sucks too, because people see your attitude, people see that. And if your attitude sucks, you know, in business, in life, in your job, you know, people are going to be put off. Because I mean, you might have experienced this yourself. I mean, you go anywhere, and you know, if you notice, do people like to be around you? Do you notice, you know? So this is what I'm saying. So this is all a direct reflection on how we compartmentalize our you know, because we're all in a box, and how do we put ourselves in that box? Because this is what we are operating on. We operate on that low vibration, a low frequency, and then, you know, that's what happens. So another example that I want to share is the same illustration, is that, you know, you have your thoughts. You have your thoughts that are going on every single day. Oh, my pen turned on. No. So we have your thoughts that go on every single day, and this is your results, right? And this is your conscious mind, and this is your subconscious mind. Okay, so we have your thoughts going on, thoughts that happening every single day. Now we want to focus on the frequency, and I talk about this all the time. It's the frequency, is what you allow, is what the frequencies that you are allowing. So right now, when it comes to attitude, you know, your attitude could suck. And this could also imply in an interview. And sometimes the interviewer can get put off just by how we show up, just by how we're engaging with the interviewee, that, you know, you could have a bad attitude. And I've heard of people that, you know, they go to interviews and they absolutely just, you know, they just destroy it from the get-go, because the attitude and how you speak to someone says a lot about you. And then, of course, the interview, if they don't like you, and from the get-go, they you know, either from what you have said, you know, you're rude, that is your attitude. And so you are operating on the low frequency, and everything in life is a direct correlation to where we are and where we are in terms of our attitude. And this is why this magic word is magic, because if we don't improve on our attitude, if we don't improve on our circumstance, then it doesn't matter what we do. If we want to get ahead in life, it doesn't matter what we want to do in life. How can we get ahead? Because if we're not improving on the fundamental, and the fundamental of everything that I, you know, shared with you, your mind, this right here is so important, because your subconscious mind can only accept, can only feed whatever you feed the right information. Your subconscious mind accepts that information, the right information, and your conscious mind rejects that information. That's the role that these two mindsets, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, have. So their primary role is to your subconscious and accepts the information, and your conscious mind rejects information. So in essence, what I am sharing with you today is, with our thoughts, feelings, because, as I said, your emotional mind, your subconscious mind is that emotional part of your mind, is the emotional part. Okay, it's your emotional, and it's the feeling. And then so you might be saying, okay, well, if your subconscious mind can only accept information, and you might be saying, okay, if your subconscious mind is the emotional and the feeling part of your mind, how can I change? What do I need to do in order to change? And I will tell you what you need to do, how you can change, because, we've all been programmed in life back before, by our parents. We were conditioned by our parents, society, friends, etc. And we've been conditioned to live or to do a certain way. And that certain way now is not feeding, it's not sort of doing us any good. And so we might be held back. And if you're still feeling that you're held back, well, you're held back. And that is also because of your paradigms. And your paradigms, if you recall, is those paradigms are the habitual, is your habitual behaviors, right? Habitual behaviors that control us. They absolutely control us. And when I say that, is that, say, for example, you are wanting to succeed, okay? You know your life, you know where you want to go, you want to succeed, but where your mind is saying, yes, you want to go, your North Star, you want to go there. And then you hear your mind, the voices saying, oh no, hold yourself back. No, you can't go there. No, you can't succeed. No, you will fail if you try. So do you see what I'm saying? So the moment we then hear the second part of a voice, what it's saying to us, then that is what we do. And then we give up on the outset of we wanted success, we wanted to succeed, we wanted more. But we just then what happens? Then we just give up. Then we get complacent, then we don't take any actions, then nothing happens, because now your paradigms is in control of us rather than the other way around, us being in control of our paradigms. So that's why it is so important, because over a period of time, we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to live in a certain way, or saying certain things. And, and now, at this point in our lives, it's not serving us. It's not serving us. So I wanted to just recap on what I have shared. And, the magic words today is attitude. And attitude was, what does it say about you? It's not all, it's not all about being a genius. It's not having a paper qualification, whether you're a PhD, MBA. It's not about the paper qualification, because there are some people, they're a genius, but then they also have bad attitude. They honestly, some do. So it's not all about being intelligent. So it's not all about being a genius. It's not all about having your talents and abilities. It's more to do with your attitude, because your attitude, if you have a good attitude, then if you are a genius, you have those paper qualifications, then that's great. That's wonderful, because now, you have both intact. But if you are one and you don't have the other, what good is that, right? What good is that? So your thoughts, feelings, and actions are the composite of a cake. So if you go to someone's house and you say, oh, that's a great ingredient, we don't say that. We say, that's a great cake. So your thoughts, feelings, and actions comprise of the composite of a cake. Is that the ingredient? So your thoughts, feelings, and actions are the ingredient that makes up your attitude, pretty much. And then I'll give you an illustration. Your conscious mind, your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind can only reject information. Your subconscious mind can only accept the relevant and right information, which in turn will give you the results that you desire. And then I talked about, your subconscious mind is your emotional, your feeling part of your mind. Your conscious mind is your intellectual part of your mind. And why do some people feel that they are stuck right now? They don't feel that they have moved anywhere. Why do some people feel that way? Well, they only feel that way because of their paradigms, and your paradigms are so darn powerful. And we have to break down. And if you recall, I spoke about the terror barrier, that, when we hit a wall, we can't even go past it because of the fear. Fear comes in, anxiety comes in when we have to go through that barrier, break through that wall. There's fear involved, and fear is always there when we're trying to grow. So paradigms and our habitual behaviors has been programmed in the way back. And now we have to rewire, reprogram to really, get the results that we're looking for, to really get to grips with what we're wanting, to really move ahead in life so that we can be the new you. And so what I will say, and I will challenge and give you this exercise, is if you are looking to making a change today, I want you to look back in your life. Which part of your life have you held back? If right now you're feeling you're held back in some way, where was that time? Where was that time in your life? And maybe even journal, write it down. Where was that time in your life that you felt held back? Because I can guarantee whatever you were feeling back then is the direct result, is what's happening now. And I've done this, so I can attest to that. So what you're feeling right now is a direct proportion. Whatever was happening back in your life is what's happening right now. So I want to give you that exercise so that you can really get to grips how to change and improve in your life. And the only way to do that, the only way we can change our attitude, is by changing our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and also your paradigms, learning to be in control of your paradigms and not having the paradigms control you. Because then when your paradigms control you, you have no power. You are now powerless. So I'm just going to stop it right there. And I want to, challenge you with that exercise, is to do it, even journal. Because why journal, why writing it down is important, because what you think you might know, what happened in the past, why you were held back from what, is different than to your reality. So if you write it down, then you will know exactly what was that point and when was that you felt held back. All right, so let me do that with you. And Ria, any final thoughts? Can hear.
Thank you, Alka. Yes,
okay,
thank you, Alka.
Good. Now I can.
That's awesome. So the cake, right? When you say, this cake tastes delicious, right? Now, when a baker makes a mistake in baking the cake such that the cake tastes bitter, where in the thought, feeling, action, or the subconscious and the conscious mind do they need to correct, right? So that the cake becomes a great cake, that it tastes great. Now, when you said earlier that, you know, your conscious mind accepts, I mean, your conscious mind's
rejects, yeah.
Conscious just accepts it, accept it. So I feel like the conscious mind is like the gatekeeper of things. So I feel like it's very important to get the right information, because our conscious mind, you know, is the gatekeeper. It rejects it, or it lets it in to be a subconscious mind. So how can a baker correct the cake if it's bitter?
That's a great question. So the baker, so if the ingredient that you find when you're eating that cake and is bitter, the bitter is the direct reflection of your negativity. And this also comes down to your negativity. So if you're feeling off, okay, that is a vibration, and that's your lower vibration. You're not at the highest frequency, which we want to be at. And it's also challenging to be at your high frequency all day long. But you can, but you have to, you know, it's work. But right now you're talking about bitterness. The bitterness of the cake, that ingredient that the baker might be one off, and now it tastes off the cake. You don't want to eat it. It's the same example as if you are negative. Your negativity can be felt, because in your negativity and everything, the ingredient in the cake is all energy. So say, for example, energy, you're holding the cake on a plate, you're holding it. So your hand, the plate, and that cake itself, the Madeira cake or any kind of vanilla cake, any cake, cheesecake, that is energy. So the cake itself, the plate, and you is all energy. So these are 3 layers of energy. And so say, this is a very powerful example, that if you are in a low energy, you are off, you are negative, your negative thoughts are coming in, that is going to feed into that cake. It is, because if you are negative by 1, you are off by 1. That is so this is another example. So Ria, that's just the example right there. It is the negativity, because your negativity can be felt by people, for sure. It can be felt by your pet. It can be felt with anything. So if the cake is that delicious, that delicious thing that you want to eat, but it's bitter. Bitter is a translation transcended from your negativity, and your negativity is powerful. And so we always need to be in that, in that vibratory moment, whereas, we're always at the frequency that we want to be, we want to operate on, because anything at any time, it is energy. Because and sometimes, we're not conscious of the real, we're not conscious of our energy, we're not conscious, doesn't matter where we go, we're not conscious of how our energy is.
And if the cake is, like you said, if the cake is bitter, right, we can always change the cake, because we still have the plate, we still have the hand. We just need to change the cake so the cake doesn't taste bitter. So it's not end all be all. We can always make another cake. So the negative energy, the negative vibration can always be changed.
Exactly. I mean, you don't have to eat the cake for sure. But then the answer to your question is, why is that cake, why was it bitter? And it was bitter only because of the negativity, the vibration that you gave to that cake is negative. So that the baker, if the baker was negative, his vibration, it was low, then that ingredient is the bitter taste. And the bitter taste is also translated to the people who you are in contact with.
Thank you.
I hope that helps. Yeah. And you know what? So that's why this is very important that, you know, you always pay attention to what you are seeing. And that's why your behavior is also another way to gauge, okay, how am I operating? How am I today? So just do that, and you will gradually, you will start to see some changes, but always be mindful of how and what you're doing every single day. So guys, we have come to the end of another amazing show. Thank you always for being with us. We value you.